Welcome to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast.
My name is Jen Clark.
And I'm Elke Clark. We are a mother-daughter team who started our Zazzle e-commerce businesses over 10 years ago and have sold over $15 million worth and counting of products on Zazzle with our designs on them.
We had so many people asking us how we did this, so we created the Profit by Design Academy, a 12-month coaching program where you will implement the 5 strategies we have used for success on Zazzle.
When we aren't coaching our amazing clients to reach millions in sales on Zazzle, we love cooking food from places all over the world that we've traveled to, jet-setting to our next dream destination, spending quality time with our close friends and family, or having fun creating our next bestsellers in our own Zazzle businesses.
In this podcast, we share actionable steps you can take to make money in your online business using Zazzle. Each episode will take you one step closer to creating that perfect business, which will give you the freedom to live your dream life.
We believe that you can have anything you dream of as long as you work smarter, not harder. We're here to give you the tools you need to make your dream life happen. So let's get started. Well, hey there, it's Elke, and welcome to another episode of the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast. Today's episode is one of my favorites because I'm going to give you 5 tips to sell on the Zazzle platform. And I'm just going to dive right into those 5 tips. I can summarize them initially, but I want you to get a pen and paper and just write as you are listening, because this is going to be a big one. There's a lot here. I want to make sure that it doesn't go too long, but this is what I would hope that you would use as a jumping off point to understand what's involved in making the Zazzle platform work for you as a cash flow, passive income cash flow business that you can do as an online business, as a side hustle. Whoever's listening, like if you're listening and you're a complete beginner, then you're going like, well, wait a minute, what is Zazzle? What's it all about? So I can explain that in a minute. If you've been on the Zazzle platform for a while and have had really a hard time making money while you're hearing that our coaching clients are making a lot of money, then maybe you should check and see if this is going to work for you and you would like to work with us. Because I hate when people have to struggle when they don't really need to. It's so important that if you want to get something accomplished, get the best training so that it's, are you an expert at the Zazzle business? Probably not if you're not making some money, right? And if you want to make that extra money, which is the whole purpose of being on the Zazzle platform, then obviously you need to get some help, right? If you want to become a really great basketball player, or you want to learn how to cook something specific, like some French cooking, you naturally decide that you're going to hire someone, or you pay for a course or something like that. Whereas for some reason, when we want to start an online business or anything that's like an improvement, that's a big deal, like this could change your life kind of deal. It's not just, I know now how to make, a fancy French scallop dish. There's a mindset switch. For some reason, we think we got to get it all for free on the internet. And we do help people who are like that right now, because we have our podcasts, we have our videos, we have our blogs, we have our show notes, we have lots of challenges and free things that we do, including our Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Facebook group. So you can definitely be part of that. I'll add that as a link in the show notes. But honestly, if you want to sell on the Zazzle platform in 2022, then these 5 tips will get you started, but you're going to need some extra training to make them really happen for you, right? You can get the principles, but I'm not going to be able to, in 20 minutes, show you exactly what you need to do step by step and have access to me to have you get your questions answered. And this is what really is the key piece, besides the 5-step tips, that is so important, right? You need someone to be there to answer your questions as you're finally going through it, right? It's really great for you to listen to me for 20 minutes, get all riled up and I'm going to do this. Yeah. And I got these 5 tips. I'm ready to go. And then you get to the Zazzle store that you started and you go like, oh, shoot, there's more to this, isn't there? How do I get this done? Well, she said this. Well, but how do I do this? Maybe I'll try it this way. And then you go, oh, well, Elke's 5 tips don't work because, I did it and it didn't work. But I want you to understand that these are tips. These are not step-by-step action steps as to how to do it with feedback, because even in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, people say, oh yeah, I've done the course. And now I'm going to, I'm asking questions because it's not working for me. And then when they ask the questions, you realize it's their interpretation of how they did the course. Or they forgot that part because they were in the middle of something that they were doing in the course, and then they got interrupted. And so they thought they finished the course, but really they didn't, right? So there's all kinds of places where things happen in life, or you don't, fully understand the whole premise and scope. So sometimes it's really just great to get some step-by-step training in this. But to start you out, and this is not a sales pitch, this is just me telling you as a friend that if you want to create a 5 or 6 figure business, this is not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen with 5 tips. It's just going to be the starter for the 5 tips, okay? And I know you might go ahead and turn off the podcast if you don't want to listen at this point. You will get a lot of value in this, but you're not going to get told how to make a gazillion dollars on Zazzle in the next year. So I just want to keep that really clear. And we are not here to get rich quick. We are here to create a long-term passive income business that could turn from a side hustle into your full-time job like it has been for Jen and I for years. And but initially it wasn't, right? So just keep that in mind in that perspective. All right, so I'm going to talk to you about how do you, the 5 tips. I'm going to tell you them first, and then I'll go into detail into each one, okay? So I'm just going to also put on a timer so that I don't end up going over too much, okay? All right, so the tips are: achieve 100% store completion on your, each store that you open. The Zazzle is going to give you some things you have to do, and you need to do 100% on each of those. The second is have custom store categories. The third is post only intentional targeted designs. And I'm looking at my list to make sure I don't miss one. The fourth is create customizable products. And the fifth is use collections to promote your products that you want to sell. Okay, so I'm going to go into each detail. And as I said, that little pep talk at the beginning was not to discourage you, but to give you a perspective so that you don't get upset later that it's oh man, it's not working. Because guess what? Our top clients at this point have reached over $330,000 in lifetime earnings. And that's because they've been struggling on their own. Like Brandon, for example, struggled on his own for 5 years and made $2,500. Now, in the last 5 years, because he started in 2017, he's been in our coaching program, our training, our mastermind, our one-on-ones, whatever he can get. He just says, yes, it's worth it because it's helped him move forward. And now he's made a total of $330,000, not $2,500, which he did on his own in 5 years. But and it's not even 5 years, it's 4.5, right? Because we're just at the beginning of 2022. And so he's made $330,000. Now, this is not that everyone gets to make the same amount of money, and it's not a one-off because Christine has also made $300,000. And there's about 8 to 10 people that are in the wings that are all already at 100,000 plus. And it's all because before they started with us, they were not making enough money, and then when they started with us, they started making some money, and then they got more and more and more. And I really promised you that if you were new, you would get told what Zazzle was. Well, it's, as you can see, it's a platform where you can post digital products of products that you can sell from anything. There's 1,500 products in all different types of niches, and all you do is you decide what designs go on those products because they're blanks. Then in the digital stores that you create, you can create products that are going to be very specific for a specific purpose or use, and whether it's artwork, photography, graphic design, text-based designs, anything that's possible in terms of what you add to those blanks to create the products that are going to be sold on the marketplace. And then once the product is sold on the marketplace, it's a digital product, right? So one customer can buy it, another customer can buy it, whatever. And then Zazzle takes care of making it and sending it off and billing the customer and pays you a royalty. Simple business model, right? Very, very good business model. I love it. It's been my steadfast go-to for years. I just got rid of all my other platforms that I was trying to work on. I was on Redbubble, Cafe Press, Society 6, a whole bunch of other things. And I haven't been on those platforms in years, even though I have accounts, because Zazzle's just worked so well for me and has made me a triple diamond pro designer, which is like I've made over $1 million on Zazzle, and it's just really, really great. And I just love it. And I'm so glad that our coaching clients are doing as well, so well as well. All right. So achieving 100% Zazzle store completion, the first thing there is there's these prompts that once you open your store, there's obviously the area where you can make your products, but then there's also an area where it's in your back end of your store that there's a little column on the right and it says, hey, here's your rank, your Z rank, which tells you how well you're doing. And then it says, these are the things you need to complete to get to 100% completion. And so they're very obvious, very clear as to what you need to do. Just follow the prompts. And if you're in our Profit by Design Academy training, we'll show you how to do those step by step. But if you want to do them on your own, go for it. And it tells you what you need to do in terms of what you have to accomplish, but it doesn't tell you how to do it, right? And you have to do those for each store. And what's going to happen with that is, first of all, your Z rank is going to go up, which helps you to some degree with your exposure on the Zazzle marketplace in terms of your products. But it's also the more important part is that Zazzle's getting you to run a proper business, right? It's not just a hobby, it's a business. And you want to get money out of it like a business, but so you have to treat it like a business. And so all of the things that the Zazzle, like these 100% items are that you have to get to 100%, they're all based on getting your store to be branded properly so that you can market your products, you can organize your store, you can do the promotion that you won't need to do in order to have people see your products, and it's going to help you sell, right? So this is my first tip and my biggest tip for you in terms of get those things done, right? And that you have to do that as the first thing if you're brand new. And if you're not brand new and you haven't yet done everything and your store is not 100% complete in terms of what Zazzle wants you to do, then I would highly recommend that you do that because it makes a difference. All right. So tip number 2 is have custom store categories. So I've got actually see, we're doing this as a podcast. You're either listening or you're actually on YouTube, which is going to be good because I'm going to get you to go to another video on the YouTube channel that we have. So either way, this is a visual training, right? In terms of the things you need to do, you need to see visually. So I've already done a YouTube video a long time ago, but it's very popular and people really love it. And it's the best video that we've shown how to do the categories very easily and properly so that it's most effective for you to sell on the Zazzle marketplace. And because of that, I'm going to put the link in the show notes, and I'm not going to go over the details of how to do that. It's best just to watch the video. And I know that's taking you off the podcast, but it's highly recommended and such a great video that it's definitely worth going to YouTube and checking that out. All right. Okay. But I'm going to give you some tips here in terms of what do you set up as your categories? Because it's like a big tree, right? Like you're going to set up your categories, and then the whole purpose of a category is to, from the customer's perspective, is to buy, right? They need to find things in your store because customers can buy from the Zazzle marketplace where your products are just, in there under sorts that people have done, like, they type into the search bar, I want to find this, and you've got the SEO on your products done properly with titles and tags, And so your product will come up in those searches, right? That's the one way. The second way is that they find out that, oh, you're a store. And so they'll click on your store and they want to browse through your store. And this is when the store categories and the homepage, and the reason that the first tip is so important is because the first tip means that you have to set up your Zazzle store properly, including your store categories. And in the store categories, they have to make sense, right? In order for the customer to click on one of your categories to go deeper. So if you can envision it sort of like a grocery store or a department store when those were available to go into if you're not in COVID lockdown right now. And you're standing at the front of the store, right? And you want to go to, let's do grocery store. You want to go to the produce aisle. Well, produce is based on what store you're in. It's typically in one spot, right? No matter whether you're going to one in one town or another, especially the big chains, they're all the same. But there's very specific area where all the fresh produce is. It's not like on, the tomatoes aren't on shelf 1 and then the cucumbers are on shelf 3 or in aisle 3. It's all in the one area, right? So this is what you're going to do with your products that you have created in your store, and you're going to put them into certain categories that fit together, that work together, and then the customer can easily click on that icon for that category to start walking into your store, so to speak, even though they're doing it through their computer, right? They're digitally checking out your categories and moving into the depths of your store by having your products organized properly. And you do that through categories, not collections, categories, right? And so the collections are different, and I'm going to talk about those in tip number 5.
Have you heard about our Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Facebook group yet?
Are you a Zazzle designer who is struggling to find a community where you'll receive training, content, and be able to connect with like-minded creatives who also want to crush it on Zazzle? Then the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Facebook group is perfect for you.
Joining is easy. Click the link in the show notes and we will see you on the inside. Now let's get back to the show.
So the top levels, as I mentioned, are very much customer based in terms of the focus of where to direct a customer. But then when you get into, because each category is going to be broken down further under each category that you started out with, right? So let's say you have 6 categories to start with, then underneath each category, you're going to break it down further and further and further. You can have 4 to 5 levels down if you want to. And when you get to the third level at that point, what you're doing is you're actually breaking it down for yourself. So that you can keep organized with your product inventory, because that is the most important thing for us to know what we're doing and what we've done and what we haven't done, so that we can scale our business. This is the most important part where this is what's made a huge difference in terms of me managing my product. This is product inventory management, if you want to be very business about it. And it's the reason why I've done so well, is because I've figured out, oh, I'm missing this, I need to add that, or I've got this twice, why have I got that? Because I couldn't figure my stuff out until I created my categories and put the products in the categories in a very specific way so I can manage the inventory for when because my products, I can't just sell 1 or 2 products or 10 or 100 products and make $1 million. No, I've got to have quite a few products. Now, that doesn't mean that I have to have a gazillion products in order to make that money, but I have to have a lot of products, maybe somewhere between 5. I've had in one store I have 10,000, in another I have a couple of thousand, in another store I have 1,000. But together, those products, when you add them up, it's oh, you know what? I've got these about 50,000 products, for example, in my one all in all out of my stores, and with my main store it's 10,000 plus. And I'm going well, how do I organize 10,000 products? And so this is how you do it. And if you do it right from the beginning, then you will sell more later because you'll have it all organized. And even if you don't have it organized now, yesterday is always the best day to start. And today is the second best day to start to fix that situation. And so that you can really see what you've got and you haven't got, because I've lost so many dollars of sales because I thought I had a product that was already set to go with my design on it. And I thought it was selling, and I was wondering why it wasn't selling, because it wasn't actually made in the first place. And I thought I had made it, but because it wasn't organized properly in the section, I lost out. So that's my second tip for you. Okay, third tip is post only intentional targeted products for sale. And I'm checking my timer to make sure that I'm still on time. What does intentional mean? Well, first of all, you have to, when you come to this platform and you want to sell, you have to ask yourself, is whatever I'm putting on these blank products, right? The design, the graphic pattern, the typography, the art, the photography, is this design something that's going to serve my customer? Or is it just me saying, here is all the stuff I've ever made that I've been creative with, right? And so we wanted to switch from that, here's everything I have ever made, to, can I serve the customer? That's intentional. And does the design that you've created, because step 2 or part 2 of this is, has the design that I've created served the purpose? And the purpose here is, well, is it for a particular function? So is it actually working for that function? Better, the toughest ones to get into this market are all the invitations, for example. So, if you're doing a wedding invitation, you've definitely got to know what's on a wedding invitation. Otherwise, if you just add something and you say wedding invitation, but you don't actually have the correct text on there or the current trending design, well, even if you are in the wedding niche, which is supposed to be one of the bigger selling niches on the Zazzle platform, then you would still not make any sales. So the idea here is that when you decide to be on a certain niche, you have to research it. You have to look to see what people want. You have to see what's trending. You have to see how it's presented. What does in this case, because we're doing weddings, I'll just keep with that example. What actually needs to be on the wedding invitation? What has to be on the RSVP card? What has to be on the details card? You have to start to know the language. And you have to know what the products are that the people are expecting to buy, because they are looking for something very specific. And if you are not delivering on that, you might have the most amazing design possible, but they are going to miss or step over your design and skip it because you don't actually give them and deliver what they need in addition to the design that they love, for example. So you've got to do that and create those targeted designs. And yes, that takes more time, but it's also going to give you a much better chance of selling. Okay. All right. So, and then also sometimes, as I mentioned before, where you're putting everything out there just because you made it and because you love it doesn't mean that it's going to sell. And so, we, in our training, in our Profit by Design Academy coaching program, what we do is we say, please let go of your artist ego and allow yourself to open yourself up to more possibilities of sales when you're not just doing everything specifically based on what you love. Some people have that knack, and whatever they love, people sell or buy. Sorry, that's Jen. She's the one that, she loves it, she tries it, she puts it up, she sells it right away. Me, I had to let go of my artist ego because I was like, I know this is going to sell, so I'm going to put this up. And I love it and so I think it'll sell. And crickets. I had to really learn to let go of my artist ego and to do what I'm telling you with this tip number 3 is to be very intentional with your products so that they serve a purpose. And that's, even though Jen's made a lot of money and she's at the gold pro designer level, I'm the one that's got triple diamond. So, there's more to be said for that intentional product than just kind of having this spider sense, if you like Marvel comics and things like that, I'm getting them all confused. Don't do that, Elke. If you have like the Spidey sense or Zazzle sense of what people like on the Zazzle marketplace and it's always working for you, great. But also consider just the business and the practical aspects of doing your research and figuring out what it is that you need to do in order to serve the niches that you want to serve on the Zazzle marketplace. Okay. And I've got a link for you here as well, for helping you with avoiding design mistakes. Because as I mentioned earlier, if you don't have certain, things that you're going to deliver whether that be the correct text or the templates or the photo templates or something like that, that's going to, like, the customer will love your stuff, but then they stop before they actually get to the checkout because something's not right, because you haven't set up things right, or the design is like not the way it needs to be. What we have here for you is another link to another YouTube video that's going to help you get more training in terms of things to avoid so that you get more sales. So check that link out as well, and have fun with all this training that you're getting as extra. Okay, so and as freebies. But as I mentioned, if you really want to get moving fast and have personalized attention onto your actual Zazzle stores, you know where to find us in the Profit by Design Academy coaching program. Okay, tip number 4 is create customizable products. And I'm looking at my list, so every once in a while I'm looking down and not looking at you on the camera, but I'm just making sure that I've got all the points that I need because I don't want to miss anything for you. All right, so this is really important because when you come from Redbubble, Society6, Amazon, Shopify, any of the other platforms, you forget that you don't just add your graphic or artwork or photography. You can make it very specific. And this ties in with the point number 3, the tip number 3, because you can be much more intentional and much more targeted with your customer that you're trying to attract by creating customizable products. Because maybe you've got this incredible artwork, for example, and it would be awesome as a background for, let's say a business card. And so by adding the text to the business card to give you that, like the person that sample look of what that business card look like with your artwork on it, then you're staging your product and you're giving the templates there with the sample text as a way for them to really easily just switch out the sample text and add their own text, right? They don't have to go in and add it themselves and figure out how to do that. And so you're adding a lot of value and service to your design before they even get a chance to touch it. And so that makes it more easy to buy and quicker to buy. And you're going to get so many more customers coming and buying your things because you've made it easy for them using the templates that are customizable. And what you do is when you're a designer, you set those up in the back end in the editing tool. It's super easy. You just click a button and it's like, here, make these templates, these field text templates so that people can just switch out their text and put in their own. Okay. And so I highly recommend it. And then the last thing is I have another video for you. It's saying, I'm just have to read it here. It says, this one's for showing you how to make proper photo photo templates, because even though the text is pretty straightforward, there's a little bit of extra stuff there that you might need help with, but for the most part it's pretty simple and straightforward. But one of the things that's really hard for people to realize is that the photo, you don't need Photoshop to create like overlays and things like that so that only certain areas of the photo will show. You can now do a ton of that stuff on the Zazzle editing tool. And, but you have to set up your photo template properly in terms of how to set the parameters so that the customer can just easily switch out your sample photo for their photo. And what we're talking here is family photos or babies or wedding couples or anniversary couples or pet photos, anything like that, which is part of being doing that customizable product. And the customer may not buy your product if you don't have that photo template set up properly. So watch that video. The link is in the show notes, and you're going to love it because you're going to never make a mistake on that again. Okay. And then the last tip, and I'm always just checking my timer and making sure that I'm okay here, but I think I am. Perfect. Okay, so the last tip is really important. I don't have a video for you with this one because it's a little bit too complicated to show you. This takes training, hours of training in some cases. You have to get used to some things, then you get used to the next things, then you get into the complicated things. But to start out with, the best tip, just even basic solution, is to create collections of your products. And this is going to help you to promote, and it's also going to help you have not only internally on the Zazzle marketplace and on the platform, but you're also going to be able to promote externally using these links, because the links bring, one link will bring a customer to a collection, and in that collection they'll get to see all the matching products that belong within that collection or design. And so that's really, really helpful. And also on the marketplace, there's certain features that Zazzle has to help you as the designer passively promote other products that are similar, because you've put them both in that same collection, to the customer who's maybe clicking on one of those products. So let's say you have 10 products in this collection, and customer clicks on product number 1. In the when they're looking at that one product, then underneath it'll say, here's all the other products in that collection. Would you like to look at them? And so there's 6 more that show up. So this is what you get to do, what's called cross-selling, which means that while your customer is already interested and ready to buy your one product, you can easily visually show them the other products that would go with them, without them having to go through your store categories to find them, right? And so this is really wonderful. It's another shopping experience that is elevated to help the customer. And so therefore there's more chance of people buying more than one product at a time. And that gives you the opportunity to sell to sell more to one customer. And that's always been an issue, right? If you get one customer to come to buy your thing, and you make a couple of dollars, that's great. But if you could get your customer to come in and buy multiple things, then you have 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 times the opportunity or more to sell to that one customer who's already convinced that they want things from you. And so the sale is easier, the dollars get bigger, and this is how you can scale really easily if you do the collections properly. And so by starting, to do the collections properly, start out by putting your products in collections so that they can do that cross-selling for you without you having to literally in any way be involved other than organizing your collections. All right, so let's just recap one more time. These are 5 tips, which are the key tips that I could say would really shift the needle in your business in the Zazzle marketplace and externally for 2022. So I highly recommend that if you don't have these locked in and nailed down and used as efficiently as possible, that it's your time to do that. So that, first of all, achieve 100% store completion for each one of your stores, not just the profile, but each one of your stores that you've opened up. And then tip number 2 is have custom store categories. Tip number 3 is post only intentional targeted designs for sale. Tip number 4 is create customizable products that you can sell. And tip number 5 is use collections to promote your products. So I hope you've learned a lot and also gotten some really great perspective on, this is not a fly-by-night business, and there's a lot to learn and a lot to implement. But when you do, then you start to see some results. And if you stick with it long term, then the results could increase for you. I can't make any income claim statements, but I'm so excited for all of the coaching clients that we are helping to raise the bar in terms of what people think they can do on the Zazzle platform. They just need the business knowledge and the guidance of someone who's already been there, done that, and seen every possible way that things could go wrong and also can go right. And so I invite you to get on our wait list for the Profit by Design Academy. We are opening it up again in March of 2022. It will be then closed and not you can't have that opportunity to join us again until the fall of 2022. So make sure that you mark it in your calendar and click that link for the wait list right now, and make sure that you won't miss out on the discounts and the early bird specials and so on, so that you can get in at the right time for the Profit by Design Academy and start your Zazzle journey to success in 2022. So take care. Thanks so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you in the next podcast. Take care. Thank you so much for listening to the Creative and Ambitious Entrepreneur Podcast with us, Jen and Elke Clark.
We hope this episode has given you actionable steps to building your online business that gives you the monthly cash flow you want while working less and living more.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Each review helps us reach more entrepreneurs like you working to create a profitable e-commerce online business.
Follow us on Instagram at Ms. Jen Clark and at Elke Clark and DM us with your biggest takeaway from today's episode. See you back here next week.